Hey guys, massive legend here.
Hey guys, massive legend here.
And we got another unboxing. Yeah, I'm invested in this year's rider season. So yeah, suffice to say that this year is the year where I'm actually coming back to Kamen Rider, because the last major big driver that I got in, well, this year was, ironically, the Gacha Driver Daybreak version. Now, this is a fun driver. I really do love it, but this is a very high-end collectible, I want to say, because this is pretty much the centerpiece of my entire Gotchard collection. So I wouldn't really call this a typical driver that I would invest in. But if you haven't already heard my general opinion on why I skipped Gav, was because, well, there wasn't really anything interesting or noteworthy to go off of when it came to last year's rider season. I mean, I do understand that it does have its fans, and I have heard really good reception from Gav from the first episode up until now. There weren't really any negatives to go off of. But generally my opinion was it didn't really excite me or have really anything that grabbed my attention. I eventually came to terms with the fact that that rider season was snack themed, and I do technically have a couple of the Gochizos, but those are more or less just for Legend Rider obligations. So yeah. But when Zeztz hit the scene, I at first hated this suit design. I thought it was ridiculous, and I honestly thought that the driver being on the chest was kind of annoying, and that this was going to be the standard for this year. But then I got over it, and I realized that there were actually a lot of cool things about the Zeztz driver that I actually do like. So, yeah, that's basically the short of it. This is a very thin-looking box, mind you, because the box that it came in was really short, and I wasn't expecting much out of it. But seeing it this size was something I wasn't really expecting, to be honest with you. And, yeah, of course, however, though, since this was technically a deposit order onto collectibles, I didn't get the exclusive Gochizo, as well as the Gochizo Rider Ball, I want to say. But that's understandable because, like I said, I didn't really find Gav all that interesting. It would have been nice to have, but I'm perfectly fine with not having it either way. But, yeah, this is essentially it. Nothing too noteworthy to say. It's just a box. You know how I feel about boxes, so it's a box. This is what you guys subscribed for, me fumbling around like an idiot. No, these are actually... Okay, what? Okay. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I honestly thought these were gonna be bigger in person. Yeah, I really thought these were gonna be bigger in person. I just like a few, maybe like an inch or so wider, I guess. But yeah, no, I get this is the gimmick for this year, the little rider balls, because I keep forgetting the name of the gimmick for this year. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll have the name of the title up on screen, but I'm not going to remember it for the life of me. But yeah, essentially, what these are is that they have these like little VPET like images, and I guess that's my first like real interest with these, is because these do kind of look like something you find on like a Digivice for like an old school Digimon VPET. But the funny thing about this is that when you spin it, there's actually another image on there. So the trick is that when these things are in the driver and you spin them, it's supposed to show like one image. So I don't know how well that's turning up on camera, but you can definitely see it in certain angles. So yeah, this is the Impact one. Physicam Impact, I think that's what this thing's called. So here we have Technicolor Stream, I want to say. It is a bit hard to see it on camera because of the angle and everything and how the light is, but genuinely though, if you angle it just right, you can technically see the image freely spinning. Actually, let me turn off my headlights so you guys probably get a better idea. Here we have Espium Recovery, probably my favorite one because green's my favorite color, and green's essentially what I associate the channel with. So yeah, SBM recovery. Just a little dude in there trying to heal. And of course, here we have purple, which is a paradigm wonder. So I'm just growing gigantic. But yeah, honestly, like I said, the size of these things, I was expecting them to just be a little bit bigger, in my opinion. But generally, these are pretty nice to hold and just to feel and whatnot. I do like that they're primarily cast in this sort of translucent plastic as well. So that's honestly really, really cool. All right, now for the moment we've all been waiting for, and I've been waiting for, the Zeztz driver itself. Okay, oh, wow, these are actually really, really flimsy. Like, I understand that this is supposed to fit around the chest and everything, but I was expecting these to be a little bit more firmer with the plastic and not flimsy like it's supposed to. This thing is already attracting fingerprints, which is kind of annoying, but hey, I mean, I guess I could probably just take like a dust rag or something to it. I do like the approach that we're going with this, and I'm especially thankful that we actually have a nylon strap, because how else were we going to do this? Because when this thing was getting released, I was skeptical because I was expecting this is probably the front end, but the back loop is probably like hard plastic, and that would be really uncomfortable for people to wear. So the fact that when these things started, when actual official like videos were coming out and it was a nylon like strap, I was thankful. And of course it just connects to this little belt clip loop here, like so. And then this green button just sort of releases it. It kind of has a similar design philosophy like the driver, where it's a seat belt and you connect it in like that. So yeah, first impressions though of the Zeztz driver itself, it is small, I will give it that, but I do like just the sort of the compact feel of it, and I do like that this is a very basic design, because personally, and this is a hot take, I think we've gotten too comfortable with driver designs that are way too complicated and have to incorporate gimmicks in a very specific way, and I think that problem goes all the way back to Reiwa, because you have to scan a key, insert it in, saber, book, insert, sword, revise, stamp, and so on and so forth. And every other driver does have their unique quirks, but sometimes they can be a little bit all over the place, so I'm glad that we're at a very basic driver design for this year. And from what rumors are saying, you can technically remove the front cover. Okay, wow, that was actually easier than I thought it would be. Yeah, I was expecting there to be some pushback, but no, it was actually easy to remove the cover. But yeah, it's all it is, just a bunch of clips and posts and whatnot. But yeah, definitely probably one of my favorite Reiwa designed drivers in recent years. I mean, I know that I said that the God driver was one of my favorite drivers, but that's recency bias. But I think looking at it from a standpoint, this is definitely a really nice looking driver. Just the transparent plastic and the color choices that they made with it. The lever just comes in stationary like that, so you have to essentially just insert the rider ball here, and that's just going to pop right back up for it to work. But I guess you can technically have it like that, be stationary, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I think it's time we should try this on, so let's see how it works. This is gonna be one of those rider sins or whatever it's called. But I gotta try it on the proper way first to see how it feels. I mean, it's definitely loose fitting. Maybe try adjusting the nylon strap here. There we go. That's nice and tight. So yeah, if you wanted to wear it as a traditional driver, you technically can, because there's nothing stopping you from doing that. But let's actually try it on the proper way here. Alright, so as you can see, it's very loose fitting in my opinion, and this section kind of does feel a little bit loose fit. But I think genuinely though, it does feel kind of comfortable. Let me get my necklace out of the way here. But yeah, as you can see, it definitely does fit. Let me just see if I can try tightening it just a little bit here. There's definitely going to be a lot of finicking with this thing, just trying to make sure it actually fits properly. Pretty sure somebody out there in the modification community will make this fit an adult chest, because I'm very skinny, as you can see, but genuinely though, it does fit properly, so let's just see how it plays first. I don't like how the lever here is really, really loose. I was expecting there to be like a tighter click, but like it's a very loose trigger, so. Alright, well, let's get some batteries in this bad boy and we'll see how it plays out. Thank God I have the light on, otherwise, or the camera light on, otherwise this probably be blinding all of you right now. Alright, let's get down to the bare basics and just demo some of these sounds here, so here we go. The belt strap does indeed light up this part here, but you can't really see it because it's drowned out by the camera light. But let me... Okay, there you go. Now you can actually see the thing in its full glory here. I won't turn off all the room lights, but you can definitely see that there is a lot of light on this thing. And it does say on the box, Cho Hakko, which means super light. So, yeah, it definitely fulfills that part of the bargain, so... there are some other features you can do aside from the finishers. So if you spin the front of the rider ball here, you can activate some sort of sound here. And you can hit the lever a number of times. I believe 3 is for the standard finisher and 4 is for the super finisher. So let's go ahead and just demo that real quick. And of course, we just disengage that with the top button here and just pry right off. And the funny thing about this is that the light will stay red, indicating that it's still in impact unless you put another capsule in. But the funny thing is that if you hit this lever down again, you get a cancel transformation noise. And I don't think there's been a rider toy that has had that in a while. I could be wrong on that, but I believe the 01 driver has a transformation cancel out sound effect. I'm not counting Revice or Saber or Geats or Gotchard because those are just essentially eject sounds for the gimmicks. But I think this is probably the first time where a rider belt, in a long time, where a rider belt has a sort of cancel transformation little sound effect there. So for the rest of this demo, I'm going to keep the phone light on, so while we demo the other 4 rider balls here, or 3 balls here. Also, make all the jokes you want. I legit can't remember the name for the life of me, so... I do like how we get different intro variations for the standby. That's fun. Also, to my knowledge, the finisher and super finisher moves are all the exact same sound effects no matter what rider ball you put into them. So there's no real point in me demoing them because it's pretty much just going to be barren repeats. I do like the sound of recovery. I think it's probably one of my favorites. It's just such a vibe to it, man. I love it. Sounds like he's singing a Big Bopper song. Just the way that he says "Wonder." You know what I mean? And of course, since someone's probably going to ask me to demo this thing proper before an actual Henshin video, might as well. Why not, they say. Hey, so a Future Green interrupting this part of the video. So when I'm demoing this, I have it set up like this, when in reality it's supposed to be the other way around, like this, where the button's facing downwards rather than upwards. So yeah, big oof from me. Yeah, please ignore it. I'm an idiot. I'm on it. Henshin. Henshin. This thing's actually really, really cool in the dark. I don't know if you can tell from the smile on my face, but this is actually really, really cool. And now with just the room lights off. And finally, the unofficial way. Okay, so now that I officially own this thing, I've got a couple of minor gripes here and there. I think one major thing is that it could be a bit loosely fit. It's a bit of a loose fit on me, but that's just generally my complaint because I don't know if you could see from when I was filming it with earlier, it was tending to really shift from my upper torso to my lower torso, and it was a little bit weird. I mean, it can be a bit finicky to really put on and try to, like, you know, clasp in with the little belt strap, but it is a comfy fit, I'm not gonna lie. And I do think that the gimmick is really, really fun. There's really just a nice little, just like, click noise with these things. And the little images of the little characters spinning, I think that's really, really nice, and it does add a bit of an intimate experience when it comes to play. I don't know if I'll get all of the rider balls, but the general thing on my mind is completing the ones that make the rainbow for the 4 main forms and getting the legend riders that I want out of the that I want so far. And so far, the only ones on my mind at the moment are Wizard and Gotchard, because those are going to be coming out real soon. Maybe I'll get the Legend Rider set 01 with Kuga, Gob, and Forze, just to get those off my checklist and everything. I don't really have any wishes for this season. I don't really have any hopes and dreams for it. I just want a fun little ride with the gimmick and the toy line itself, since I've been absent for it for the last year. Zeztz is a show I can't really comment on because I haven't gotten around to sitting and watch the first 2 episodes as of this recording. But generally, though, it is fun, and I am here for the ride. And who knows, maybe I'll actually do a review of this thing proper and talk about my thoughts and whatnot. But with all that being said, though, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to see other content, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. With that being said, this is GhostGreen90 signing out and reminding you to stay safe. I'll see you guys next time.
Kevin the Thrasher, shake hands. 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 Kevin the